Hey guys, good morning. It's Daryl here. It is Monday morning. It is coming up on 8:45 here in the morning in Connecticut on the East Coast. I just got back. I'm still soaked. It's hailing and snowing, and it's a cold, dreary morning out there. And I didn't realize, but it's the anniversary. It is the 8-year anniversary of a terrible day, of a tragedy that happened here in Connecticut 8 years ago. As a matter of fact, it's coming up within the next hour. We'll make it exactly 8 years. I was going to get cleaned up to make this video, but I just wanted to make it from my heart right now. Okay, so part of me debated about talking about this at all. But there's a reason, one thing that occurred to me. A person that keeps interjecting himself in the story and other stories. And I kind of wanted to talk about that. All right. So this is when I make this video pretty much every year, and I talk about what happened here. 26 people, 20 children. And I think stuff like this has happened all across the United States. In New York City, Oklahoma City, Florida, Las Vegas. I mean, the whole country is no stranger to these incidents. I remember exactly what I was doing when I first saw this, and it started off small, and then it got horrendous. It got to the point where it seemed surreal that this can't be true. And it was, as you know, it's 11 days before Christmas. The thing is, since then, this is what I want to talk about too. The first responders, the people, the Connecticut State Police, the town police from Newtown, that had to deal with the unimaginable that day. They've paid a big price since in the last 8 years. Some of them couldn't handle it. Connecticut's a very small town. A very small state. There's only two. I just looked it up. Newtown is 20 miles from here, where I'm sitting. There's only a few towns in between small towns. My point is, we see people that were victims that day. You think about, there's the 26 victims, and there were the first responders who were victims. And the families of all these people, and people in this area have come in contact. We know how real this was. We see the look on people's faces, this ashen, hollow look, and it almost scares you that you almost don't want to talk to some of these people, which is terrible, because you're scared that some of it will come off on you. The horrificness of it. Now that every year that I make these videos, somebody inevitably will, and I thought about not talking about this, but I've never been one to hide from bullies or from people like that. And they're going to be there, whether I bring this subject up or not. Somebody else, if they're going to, the deniers, the people that call this, I believe they call it a false flag or stuff like that. Let me tell you my response. If the people around here, if you were to go into a store around here and start saying stuff like that, that denier stuff, you'd find yourself in some very hot water very quickly. We feel very protective of the people, the victims. Like I said, it's a very large circle of victims, especially the first responders. And let me talk about this too. A lot of the people that put out this false flag stuff are the same people that talk about law and order and Donald Trump. But, the theories, those people that think everything's a conspiracy, they believe in law and order, but I don't know if they understand what they're doing here. By doing this is they're hurting a lot of the first responders are the victims here. Unbelievable the unbelievable things they had to endure that day. And, you know, the same people that profess to be, you know, all about the law and order and supporting the police, by doing this, the people that are doing this, that are being deniers of this situation, the false flag people, are doing unimaginable, inflicting unimaginable pain into the actual first responders. Okay, when I see this stuff, you know, the people that say it was all actors, you know, deniers, I feel a rage, a blind rage, and I could barely, if I had the perpetrator, that Adam, that person that did it in front of me, I would almost feel as much rage for him as I do for those deniers, because they both inflict so much pain on my community and the people around me, that it's such white hot hatred. But that's a small part. And part of me, the other part of me that I feel is that someday, because I believe in God, and someday I think they'll understand the pain that they've caused people. You know, when their judgment comes, I think they will understand, by denying and their theories, what they've done to hurt other people by saying this stuff. And then there's a part of me, there's like three parts, and the other part of me is just, you know, they don't know what they're saying, you know, and just wash my hands of them, you know. Sorry, this is what reason I wanted to talk about it too. Jones, Mr. Jones. I'm trying to be very careful how I speak here, because I don't want to lose my advertising. Mr. Jones, it occurred to me, and this is why I'm making the video. He got called out on the carpet, got taken to task for perpetrating some of these theories about the situation here. And I remember, all of a sudden, this all came back to me this morning, but just in the last hour as I was walking. His defense was that he's not saying that himself, so he's not responsible for it. He's saying it, he's just repeating what he's hearing other people say. He's just kind of reporting, you know, the goings-ons of other theory people, you know. It's not his ideas. And all of a sudden, I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what he's saying right now. Because I just remembered last week, he got called to task. He got taken to task for this secession, you know, pulling out of the Union with Donald Trump and everything. And he got called out for that. And he used that same excuse. And this all clicked in my head this morning. He was using that same damn excuse again. Oh, it's not me. I'm not saying that. Those aren't my ideas. Oh, by the way, the press, there's pictures of Alex Jones in Washington, D.C. Saturday, this last weekend, with a bullhorn spreading this stuff. But no. It's not him saying that. He's just repeating what other people are saying. Some kind of pseudo reporter, I guess he sees himself as. Like I said, I talked about this in another video, and how I feel about people that deny responsibility for this. That's the worst. I think that's the worst. Is they're the people that call this stuff a false flag or deniers, but then people like Jones that won't even own it. They just say, well, I'm just repeating what somebody else said. You know, I'm not saying that. Oh man, those are the people I have the least respect for. So anyway, on this day, I just want to remember the people that have suffered and are still suffering from what happened here 8 years ago. And just be kind, because it can and will happen somewhere else, and it might be in your town or you're next door to you, your school. So think about that before you start with the denial stuff or the false flag stuff. Think about it. All right. You guys have a good Monday.